Hi, spooky friends. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks. We are your horror besties, here to dissect our favorite and not so favorite horror movies, breaking down the screams, the scares, and everything sinister scene by scene. I'm Emma, and joining me as always is my Texas beauty queen, Allison.
Oh my God, don't I wish? Remember how I almost was?
Well, you are my Texas beauty queen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But remember how I almost was a Texas beauty queen?
Oh my God, you were almost.
I almost moved to Texas that one time.
Wait,
remember that?
Shit, you just unlocked a memory for. Thank God you didn't.
Can you imagine? This could be me.
I'm glad that this is you right here in front of me.
Yes.
Anyways, Allison.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. What have you been up to, my little queen?
Oh, man. Actually, no, I'm not happy to be here because I wish I were still in New Orleans. I just got back from the most epic trip to New Orleans. I went with my college best friends, and we never get to all hang out together. So it was so magical and witchy and special. It was a full moon. There were raccoons. I got to hold a giant grasshopper. We saw Mama Odie's tree from Princess and the Frog. It was a great time. What have you been up to?
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah. Well, definitely nothing as cool as that. I've just basically been having a Texas Chainsaw summer in every possible way. It's been hot as fuck over here.
True.
It has been, I'm just hanging out with the fam. You know what I mean?
So Texas Chainsaw-y.
Yeah, very, very family oriented. And we are also gearing up for Midsummer Scream, baby.
Year four? This will be our fourth Midsummer Scream.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
That's pretty wild.
But on that note, I think I kind of spoiled it a little bit, but Allison, what film are we reviewing today?
Today we are reviewing 2003's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, baby. Woo! This one's for you.
Oh, you guys.
So, I think everybody already knows this, but Emma, tell us about your first experience watching this. How does this movie fit into your life?
Okay, you guys, this film, it scared me so much. This is one of the first horror films that I actually can remember vividly the entire experience of watching it. I watched it with a group of friends. I was terrified. This is the first time I think I realized that being scared from horror movies is my favorite type of adrenaline rush. And I'm not so into roller coasters or skydiving or shit like that. This is my thing. It also really scared me because, and we're going to get into this, but the very beginning of this film too, it says inspired by a true story. And for some reason, I tricked myself back then of believing that. Because when I first saw this, we didn't have Google and internet at our fingertips like we do now. So it was kind of hard to validate that. And I'm like, what do you mean this is inspired by a true story?
And I guess we would have been pretty young, 13.
Oh, we were so young.
So young.
Honestly, I think I had a little bit of a sexual awakening in this film. Seeing
to who?
Aaron and Kemper. Mostly Jessica Biel as Aaron. But I also thought Kemper was kind of cute.
No, literally, pretty much the entire cast is attractive.
Yeah, exactly. But their little dynamic, I was like, ooh, I want a boyfriend.
Fair enough.
I just loved everything about it. It scared the shit out of me for multiple reasons that I'll get into in the podcast. But anyways, I don't want to keep going because I have a lot to say. Allison, what were your first impressions of this film?
So as a reminder, guys, this is not the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is a remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This was my first time watching this version of it. For all intents and purposes, I might have seen it in high school
when
or
you
something.
were making out with a guy in the back of a truck
literally,
or something.
I haven't seen it because I was busy making out.
Yeah.
So I just watched it for the first time the other day, and oh my God, how have we never watched this together? We need to still do this, have a early aughts horror movie night, because it was such a time to be alive, and this happens to fit right into that pocket of time and this total vibe of that entire era. It's House of Wax. It's Cabin Fever a little bit. It's the remake of Friday the 13th. It's all of those movies. And seriously, what a time for horror. But speaking of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, if you haven't seen it and don't want to get spoiled, this is your chance to stop this, go watch it, come back to us if you don't give a fuck about spoilers. Come on this early aughts horror remake with us.
Ooh, yes. Yes. But getting into the summary of our film, after picking up a traumatized young hitchhiker, 5 friends find themselves stalked and hunted by a deformed chainsaw-wielding loon and his family of equally psychopathic killers. I love it. Perfect, no notes, chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
This film is just, oh my God, guys, I'm just so excited to get into it. So in 2001, action thriller icon Mr. Michael Bay, he began a low-budget film production company and set his sights on rebooting TCM as their first film. And Michael proceeded to hire not only a few people from the original TCM, but many crew members that he had worked with on his previous films too as well, which is like so cool. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was released October 17th of 2003 with a gross of $107 million on a $9.5 million budget.
Damn.
Yeah.
Those teens be going to the movies.
Hell yeah, dude. Making it the highest grossing film of the franchise, even when adjusted for inflation.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it did well. And when we talk about ratings, so let me start off by saying IMDb 6.2 out of 10. I love this film, but I can see how it's a 6.2 out of 10. I actually think that's pretty favorable for this film.
So high.
Yeah, it's pretty high. But what do you got for Rotten Tomatoes?
Rotten Tomatoes is 37%. Tomato meter and popcorn meter is 58. I mean, I agree with 58 just for like the nostalgia factor of it all. But goddamn, 6.2 is pretty high. And the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from the 70s had an 85% and an 82, which it's a classic, so that cannot be denied. And then Letterboxd is a 3.1, which I think that's so hot. I don't know. I know you love this movie, but I don't think the rest of the world shares that sentiment. And it's not that I hate it. I just think you like it a little bit more than I do.
Okay, well, hear me out here. Even with like kind of mixed feelings on ratings, though, this film made money.
Yeah.
But just like you said, those teens, they be going to the movies.
God damn. They be getting that babysitting money.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And they're going to the cinema. And due to the film's like financial success of this, it also influenced like a plethora of some of our favorite horror movies and franchises to like remake some of their originals across the span of the 2000s and the 2010s. So some examples like The Hills Have Eyes, House of Wax, Amityville Horror, Omen, Halloween, My Bloody Valentine. I mean, that's just to name like a few. And these films were met with a mixed to negative reviews and have been heavily criticized by audiences and critics alike for being unnecessary additions to their franchises. I think it's really clear that during this time, that was just the popular thing to do. I kind of feel like it's coming around a little bit again.
What's so funny is somewhere in my notes, I'm trying to find it right now, but I think we're back, baby. I think we're coming back because that was we're not alone in this feeling of nostalgia for these movies. It really was a new era for horror. It defined something for a generation. It was pretty bold with its brand, and I think with the strong presence of these new creators, I think it is coming back around. You know,
Definitely.
I'm seeing a surge.
And every time there's a new something from a franchise, it's like, I know that people don't love remakes and don't love franchises that just go like on and on and on. And we have similar opinions depending on the franchise. But one thing that we can say for sure is like, I think anytime you introduce a new generation or just new group of people to a film and a franchise, they get interested. And a lot of them will go back and watch those that preceded it. Like, I think this film was so awesome because it made me watch the original.
Absolutely. And there's something to be said about that too, they make these remakes because we want to interpret the story in a different way. It's just it's honoring the story within a different interpretation.
And we have more emotional ties maybe to the actors and like the people that are involved with it in that time.
Yeah.
You know, Jessica Biel, Seventh Heaven. I mean, you
Totally.
know, she's a little bad Christian girl. I wanted to see what was going to happen in Texas.
What's she doing in Texas?
What is she doing?
She's escaping her dad. That's what she's doing.
She is. Let me ask you this, Els. Would you rather have a reboot or remake kind of similar to what we're reviewing today? Or would you rather have something 20 years down the line have like the sequel come out? Like I'm thinking Beetlejuice 2, or I'm thinking even like Freaky Friday 2 just came out, which both like I really enjoyed. But
Did you?
I did.
You did.
Do you feel like you would have rather just seen a totally new reboot? Because I feel like you love to recast.
That's one of my absolute favorite games is to recast.
So do you feel like that's kind of where you would lean?
I think that, yeah, I actually didn't really enjoy I love me some Jamie Lee and Lindsay Lohan, but like I didn't enjoy that movie. I didn't enjoy, what was the other one you mentioned?
Beetlejuice 2.
I didn't like Beetlejuice that much. I also don't love a reinterpretation, a reboot all the time. Because there's always, to me, this isn't like a hit.
No,
But I also respect wanting a new generation to see it, rebooted. We want to see the new effects. We want to see the hot actors. We want to see it done a little bit differently. And that's why we're going to see it again with Curry Barker's interpretation of it wherever. And I actually heard him kind of speak about it, so I'll be interested to see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I think that is kind of the excitement that we're talking about, is that we always talk about cyclicalness. And we're in that cycle where it's coming back, baby.
It's coming back. I know we might not share this 100%, but I feel like this remake, even though it's not a scene for scene, word for word remake, I really feel like it was successful, especially for the time. Just, again, with all of those similar types of films coming out, that like yellow sepia grunge. I just God, I love that fucking era.
Well, and you can't deny the impact it started a movement. It started that era, and you can't deny the numbers either. The money's there.
Exactly. Okay, well, let's just take ourselves right into this sketchy road trip, shall we?
Beep, beep, bitch.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This film opens with an apparent police evidence investigation, and we get some narration too as well. And it's sort of already starting to frame the story as almost documentary style, like they've recovered some evidence from a really horrific crime scene affecting 5 youths and happening 30 years ago. And a fun fact here in the narration piece is that John Larroquette, who was the original narrator from the first TCM, he actually returns as the narrator for this film, which I love. One other thing that I need to note here is that the sound in this opening scene also had a dramatic effect on me when I first saw it as a teenager, and it still is one of the scariest sounds to me to this day. Producer, please insert sound here. This sound to me scares me so much. It's in line with how much some of the sounds in Sinister scare me with the, you know what I mean? With just, it's the music and also just the sound effects that they use when you're like watching those videos, it's really like burned in my brain.
I know the exact sound you're talking about, and I don't even know how to describe it.
I actually saw a really funny TikTok the other day where someone was like, oh, you hear that sound? They're like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't know. There's something about it. It's so brilliant.
To me, it's almost like a Shutter speed.
Yeah. But it's like a Shutter.
I love that they brought back the narrator because it really just puts you right into that 70s feel. But I also love that it almost feels really forced.
Yeah.
It's giving me corny, which I like.
Yes. Then we just immediately get the title card and we hear a girl screaming before we see that she's actually jumping into a small lake swimming with friends. And then we get the date across the bottom. It's August 1973. And we're just right into it. And it's okay, we had this narration at the beginning where we were talking about a crime scene, and they have set it up to tell the story of how this crime scene happened. Now, we immediately meet our 5 friends as they are driving through Texas. They are making their way to a Lynyrd Skynyrd concert, all while listening to Sweet Home Alabama.
2 things. Sweet Home Alabama didn't come out till the following year, so this is not accurate. Second thing, very much so like the beginning of X, which I love. And it's it's kind of signifying what a time to be alive. We're all hot and we're in a van and it's 70s and we're in Texas.
And you're going to a Lynyrd Skynyrd concert?
And you're going to a Lynyrd Skynyrd concert.
I love it. I love it.
When they were all alive, yes.
So what a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. Until they're not.
Until they're not. So we are immediately introduced to Erin, played by Jessica Biel.
This is your prime outfit goals of life.
Oh, dude.
The amount of times you've referenced her wife beater, I think you just need to get a wife, we also need to rename that, huh?
Yeah, it's a really bad name.
Your white ribbed tank top.
There you go. Thank you.
It's really hard to say.
I agree. She's also my inspo. So when I say she's my fitspo. So when I say I'm having a TCM summer, that's what I mean is I'm trying to be as hot as Jessica Biel with her tank top and her jeans and her boots and her little cowboy hat.
And when I say I'm having a Sean Paul summer, I mean something a little different.
We be burning a concert. Yes, so good. And she's just so amazing. Then we meet Kemper, who is her boyfriend, played by Eric Balfour.
Something about Eric is I know a lot of young women loved him.
Yeah.
He was all over the place. He was not on my radar, but he was a lot of people's sexual awakenings.
It's really funny because we talk about, you and I were talking before the pod about like the guys that are usually fall within our type, and Eric Balfour, some of his characteristics are like my usual type.
Yeah.
Where who we're going to meet next, Andy, played by Mike Vogel, that's like so much your type.
Andy would be my choice.
I love it. Also, I love fucking grind. So hell yeah.
Also, he's in just some really random shit that I randomly love The Help, you guys. I watch The Help probably once a week, and he's in The Help.
That's actually really cool. I love The Help. And he's also in a couple episodes, I think maybe a few, of Bates Motel, which is really good too.
Yes. Love that. Okay, so Little Baby Scream King.
Yes. Then we move on to Morgan, who's played by Jonathan Tucker. He's been in kind of a random array of things too. And he's kind of our like outlier guy who doesn't have a girlfriend. Yeah. He's the fifth wheel.
The fifth wheel, also the stoner kind of character.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, we are introduced to Pepper, who is played by Erica Learson. And she is just a hitchhiker who they happened to pick up 24 hours earlier. And they said, cool, girl, come with us.
Yeah. And Pepper and Andy are basically having sex in the back of the van. So at first I thought they were a couple, but nope, they had just met 19 hours earlier.
Yeah. And we quickly learned, too, that not only are Aaron and Kemper dating, but, like, they're kind of making these, like, little jokes to each other about engagement, too, as well. So it does seem like, I think she says to Pepper at one point that she's, like, lived with Kemper for 3 years already, and she's, like, waiting for a little ring on her finger. So, you know, it's just, you're already like, oh, okay. It's not like they just met.
Yeah, they're an established loving couple. Yeah. I also love that his name is Kemper, as in like Ed Kemper.
That was purposeful.
Oh my God.
I'm glad that you brought that up. I almost put that in our notes. But yeah, that was purposeful. They wanted to name him after that famous serial killer.
Big Ed.
So another thing that we find out is that their van is packed with some marijuana that they had purchased across the border a little bit earlier in their trip. But at this point in the trip, Aaron does not know about it. And it seems kind of like a secret maybe only the boys share.
Yeah, like they're hiding it from the women. And I guess how would you miss the drug smuggling aspect of the trip? But like whatever. And I love that Kemper is intoxicated while driving. He's just like, I'm fucked up, but I'm driving.
He's like, here we go, baby. Something funny actually is that a deleted subplot for this film actually detailed Erin being pregnant, which is why when they were in Mexico, she didn't quote unquote drink the water or smoke the weed, as they kind of talk about in the final cut. It's a little added thing that like she may or may not have been pregnant.
As we know from House of Wax, we don't need the pregnancy thing.
We don't need
that little plot point.
It's okay. All in all, this is our crew.
It's our hot teens.
These are our hot teens. The mood is carefree. They're feeling good. But then all of a sudden, they notice a pretty frightened young woman walking alone on the roadside. Okay, before we get to kind of what happens with this new hitchhiker in the situation, is it just me or does this genuinely feel like one of the best group of friends that I've seen in like any of these early 2000s films? I don't know why I can like feel good chemistry from them. And maybe that's just because like I love this movie. But
I think it might be because you love this movie, because for me, it's so formulaic. To me, it's very plug and play.
Yeah.
To me, we have our final girl, Jessica Biel. We have her boyfriend that loves her but is clearly going to die. We have the fuckboy Andy and some hooker that he's going to bang, Pepper. And then we have our stoner.
That's all you need.
That's all. So it's formulaic to me.
And we have a pinata, but we're going to find out about that later.
Yes. And now a hitchhiker.
Going back to our new hitchhiker that's walking down the street, she looks fucked up. I mean, she's like totally unresponsive. She's just walking forward. She looks dirty. She looks like she's like been through hell.
The boys actually say she looks like they kind of are dismissive of her. They say she's on acid or something like that. And the girls are like, no, she needs help.
Yeah.
You gotta help this fucking hopeless wanderer. Isn't that a Mumford & song?
Maybe. And if not, it should be.
I definitely. Well, I'll talk to Marcus.
There you go. Aaron and Pepper, they get out of the van to go talk to her, and they're trying to talk to her. She's unresponsive, but she does let Aaron and Pepper kind of lead her like back into the van. So
she's mumbling shit like, I want to go home. I want to go home.
The group picks her up. they, have started driving with her in the van, and she's just like muttering some weird shit as they drive. Like one of the things she says is they're all dead. Okay, that's fucking terrifying if I was in a van with her. She then tells them that they're going the wrong way as they like pass a sign, I believe, and she starts kind of freaking out. She actually gets up at one point from the back seat and tries to like move Kemper's wheel, like presumably trying to just turn them around. And she says again, I won't go back there. So we're getting set up as like she's seen some shit. We don't know what yet, but like scary.
No, okay. This hopeless wanderer was actually walking in the direction of the farm where she's now terrified to go to. Going wrong way, wrong way.
My argument is that you are in a place that you don't know. And if she just went through some shit, she might not know what direction is what. I would easily
then
make that mistake. Then why is
bitch saying wrong way, wrong way? She's walking that direction.
Because she saw the sign. So maybe beforehand when she was walking, she hadn't quite, like, she didn't know exactly what way she was walking yet. But like once they were driving and they actually passed by the sign. Because, and this is my argument, later on in the movie, the same thing happens with Jessica Biel. Same exact thing. Gets picked up and is going the way towards town, but she doesn't say anything to the driver until she sees the sign.
Pack it up. We're going to Texas. We're going to go check. Be right back.
Yeah, we're going to go see if it's as easy to get lost as these girls. So, guys, then suddenly,
I did not fucking expect this. You guys, I watched
I wish
this.
I was with you.
No, I was watching this at like, I don't know, like 11 a.m.
Like midday.
On a random day. Sun was out and wasn't expecting this next scene.
Yeah. So she's sitting in the van, she's in the back seat, and this bitch pulls out a revolver from her hoo-ha. And she's like repeatedly saying, he's a bad man and you're all gonna die. And you guys, she takes that revolver, puts it in her mouth, and unfortunately yeets herself in the head inside the van.
And they kind of show a lot.
And I think another reason why this was founding to me as a kid, or like I was like a young teenager when I saw this, I had never seen something to this extent as a like adolescent. Weirdly, I had seen some scary movies and I've always seen sci-fi movies and stuff with my dad as I was a kid, but this like really hit me. Like I was like, holy shit, I just saw someone blow their brains out.
To see this as like somebody like a 10-year-old or something would be pretty fucked up because like right after and they pull away and they go back to this hitchhiker and there's smoke coming out of her gaping wound of a mouth. And wow, 2003 is a wild time.
It really was. I can say, though, that I think this scene was done so well. I'm so glad you brought up the smoke in the mouth because that was one thing that I loved the detail of that. And then I love this scene. It's so fucking iconic as the camera literally goes from looking at the front of the van with Kemper and Aaron turned back towards the girl screaming. And the camera pans all the way out, showing the rest of the van mates. And it immediately just goes through the hole of the girl's skull and then out the hole of the window of the van. And I just love that. The producer and I were talking about that scene and we were discussing how it probably was shot. I know that there is some sort of like lens that can be used that's like super skinny.
And the cinematographer of this movie was also the cinematographer of the original.
Yes.
So kind of carrying some artistry on from one generation to the next there too.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. And like, it hits you in the fucking gut. And like you said, not something you expect right at that beginning part.
No, 2003. What the fuck?
What the hell? So obviously the entire group is freaked the fuck out of what they just witnessed. They're panicking. They're screaming. They get out of the car.
You guys, I'm panicking and screaming. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. And I have so many questions. And I'm mainly asking the questions that Pepper's asking. She's like, why did she have to do that? Why did she pick us? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, all like valid questions for sure.
If you think about it, if they kept on their merry way and ignored the girl like the boys wanted to, they'd be at Leonard Skinnerd.
And it's so sad because it's like they did the right thing, right? Stopping for someone that clearly needed help and was by herself. But fuck, what's going to happen is just, ooh, man.
All because they stopped.
They ain't ready because things are about to get worse. They're thinking this is like the worst thing that could possibly happen. It's going to get way worse.
Yeah, they're like, this is a woman killing herself in front of us is definitely the worst thing that's going to happen today, right?
Yeah, no one is thinking it's going to get crazier. Yeah. The guys start like talking about what they're going to do and what the plan is, and Kemper suggests calling the cops. Morgan hesitates immediately and he kind of yells at Kemper saying like, that's a really bad idea because of the piñata full of weed that we have in the car.
I want to know how they got that through Border Patrol. How is that not so suspicious? And in case you were wondering, like I was, because I think that is so suspicious, a fucking piñata, they were popularized in the 80s. So that would be suspicious in 1973.
Were they popular, though, in Mexico before the 80s?
Great question. I don't know, but the border has both countries.
True. So that would be weird for a bunch of, like, white kids to be coming over. Yeah. Like, why do you guys have a piñata?
They for sure didn't go get weed and put it in that piñata.
True. These agents are probably a little smarter of people trying to smuggle weed across the border.
Everyone to know that this is a flaw in the movie.
As Morgan just like basically blew their cover about the piñata, Kemper is like, dude, shut the fuck up. Keep your voice down. But Erin definitely heard. And you can tell that she's pissed. Like, she's like, bro, what the fuck? You guys brought a bunch of weed over and like, I didn't know about it.
And he goes on to say, you know, baby, I was just trying to do this because I want to start a life together. And this could really help us out, assuming he's going to try to sell it.
Yeah.
So why is he throwing that shit in the field? You can still sell it, man.
I'm like, bro, yeah, he chucks this piñata into the field and it's like, okay, remember where that was so that you could come back and get it later.
You can still sell it. I'm not sure what the problem is here. Now your girlfriend just knows about it.
Well, they don't want the cop to find it.
Blow me. Put it back in the piñata.
There you go. Morgan, like, immediately worrying about the weed while everyone else is focused on the dead girl, though, like, to me, that's such a panic response. What would your first thought honestly be in that situation after seeing this happen with this girl?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I really was so triggered by that. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I don't have that banked in my brain like you do. I watched it at 11 a.m. the other day.
You're like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck was that? So I'm not sure what would have me more panicked, the girl or the weed. Not really sure.
Maybe you'd be,
because both are scary.
Maybe you would be like Morgan, like how he's concerned about the piñata.
Yeah, because I'd probably be like, oh my God, we have drugs too.
Yeah. I honestly think I'd pass out. That's probably what would happen.
I would throw up for sure.
Yeah. I think I'd throw up. I'd pass out. I can't even imagine what that smells like. Oof. Like, whew.
I mean, I know we kind of talked about it offline, but you can smell this movie while you're watching it.
Dude.
You can smell it.
In so many places, in so many ways.
But that's part of the brand of these early 2000s horror films is that grainy look and the intensity, that dirty feeling and the kind of intense gore and shit that makes you smell the movie.
Definitely. So the crew gets back into the van and everybody's like trying their best to stay away from the body and make it smell better inside. I think someone's like spraying something like perfume.
Pepper's like, there's no way I'm getting back in that van. And then the next shot is obviously her in the van spraying some room spray or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
And they cover the body with like newspaper and she's fucking propped up. Why don't we lay her down?
Yeah.
And I guess like, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do in that situation?
She's unalived herself in the van.
Yeah, it's a little sketch. And even Andy, freaking Andy, he makes a comment about how he's like, I guess that's what brains look like. They kind of look like lasagna. I'm like, oh God, Andy, why did we do that?
I don't think that would be my reaction after seeing that happen.
I wouldn't even be looking at it, probably.
No.
But hey, boys are curious, I guess.
No, not that curious. Ew.
The group stops at a small local gas station and barbecue spot. And
they're trying to get help.
Yes.
They're trying to find a resource. They need a phone, a cop, something. A girl is dead in their van.
Yeah, there are no cell phones at this time. This is the 70s. So you just have to try to get help in another way.
So yeah, they stop at this random barbecue joint. And I'm wondering, okay, is this supposed to be the one from the original? And I know it's not the exact same. But so here's our titular barbecue joint.
Yes, yeah. There's one like older woman working inside. The establishment is also like really gross. It seems dirty. There's like flies everywhere. And they tell this old woman, they're like, hey, we need to call the cops. We have to report a woman who shot herself in our van. And she does help them do that. So she does end up like calling the sheriff.
She's kind of like a damn kids kind of lady. Mm-hmm. And essentially saying, it's your own damn fault. I'll call the sheriff. We don't see her call the sheriff, or we don't talk to the sheriff. She says, it'll be about 2 hours. You need to meet him at the mill or whatever.
Yeah. So the group is rightfully like a little bit irritated. They're like, why can't the sheriff come meet us? This seems like a very important situation. Like, why do we need to go meet him at like this mill? But that old woman working there, she's just really like not much help after that in the situation, pretty much at all.
And I guess there's next try, next attempt. What do we got next?
Yeah, it's like if that's where the sheriff of this weird little town needs us to meet him so we can get this fucking body out of our van, then like I guess that's what we got to do.
Yeah, again, is that the only option? No, but it's an option and we got to keep moving.
Yep. So they make their way to this creepy ass mill as instructed. And at first, like no one is there. So they park, they get out of the van. Again, they do not want to be in there longer than they have to. So the group, they start to debate just dumping the body and leaving. Like they know that a cop will come eventually. They have reported it. So I feel like somehow in their minds, it kind of makes them rationalize maybe just like leaving her. But Erin is pretty adamant that they need to do the right thing. This is someone's daughter. Her family is going to be missing her.
And honestly, that was so valid. And it gave me a pit thinking about it because in my mind, it's just a movie brain. Okay, leave the body, go.
Yeah.
Because remember, if it weren't for this instance, if it weren't for picking up this girl, they'd be on their merry way. Mm-hmm. They'd have their weed. The woman wouldn't know. They'd be on their way to Leonard Skinner.
They have to carry through with the whole thing and at least feel like, okay, we did the right thing. So they start to explore this mill because they're trying to find anyone. And Pepper and Morgan swear that they like see someone. And we as the viewer, we kind of see like a dark shadow. It looks kind of small, but it like goes across the screen.
I'm just not sure why we would even trust going to another location to meet the sheriff. Like, why is this so complicated? This sounds so sketchy.
Totally. Erin then goes off by herself to explore, and she calls Kemper and friends over to investigate some rattling that she's hearing from an old cabinet within the mill. We find out it's a red herring. It's just like a possum that was in there. And a cute fun fact about this possum is that while filming the scene, the filmmakers had to reshoot it numerous times in order to deliver the scares that they needed. But every time they filmed it, the possum was appearing more and more adorable than scary.
I fucking love possums. I used to have one in college. I had one.
You had a possum?
I lived outside of my apartment complex. But
what do you mean by that?
It lived outside
I thought you said you lived outside. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, were you okay? I knew you back then.
I mean, people did frequent the alley and sleep there, but so did possums.
Oh my God.
And his name was Goofy.
Okay.
Because a Goofy movie.
That's adorable.
And Possum Land. Now I don't watch that movie.
That's fucking adorable.
Yeah, so I had a possum.
I love that. Then their attention moves to some loud thumping that they're hearing from another part of the mill. And they're pretty sure they're like, okay, now what the fuck was that? And they're all together at this point. They turn a corner and they find this like dirty little boy who is seemingly living in the mill. And he's clearly not well cared for. He's like he has like a little mattress on the ground and a couple of little like trinkets and stuff. And he just immediately starts talking to them. And he's like, what'd you do to her? The girl in the van. And then he's like, promise you won't hurt me.
You guys, when I was watching this at 11 a.m. by myself in my office, I almost shit my pants because all I needed was that creepy ass little voice. And I was like, Aiden from The Ring is here. And it's the same fucking kid, just with really bad Billy Bob teeth.
Wait, shut the fuck
up. It's the same fucking kid. I heard his voice and I was like, that's Aiden.
Oh my God, what a connection.
The same fucking kid, just with bad fake teeth.
Oh, that's funny.
Literally, it's like they didn't even try and change him. They just plopped Aiden in and put him, he's now Jed.
You guys, in our notes, Allie has linked a photo to IMDb of this actor that plays... I want to say Aiden, that plays Jedediah in this film. And it's just this like funny picture of him.
This is what he looks like as a teenager. Here you go.
From Ghost Whisperer 2005.
In case you were wondering.
Thank you for that little nugget.
I needed you to know.
I appreciate
it's
that.
Aiden.
So yeah, we find out though in this movie, his name is Jedediah.
No.
And he says that the sheriff is probably at home getting drunk, which, hello, big red flag if there already haven't been several on this trip. Erin's like really concerned for him. She seems definitely like the most empathetic probably in this group. And she's like, where do you live? And Jed's like, there's no road, but it is just like a short walk away.
Road don't go there. And he's like, how I speak when I haven't slept in 3 days. And it happens more often than you think. I'm sorry, I should have said it 7 days.
Oh,
get it?
Missed opportunity.
Get it?
Okay, I have a question for you though. If you were in this situation, part of this group, would you have waited around for the sheriff or would you have immediately just started driving towards like the nearest actual town?
It's really hard. I was actually thinking about this because in a situation, one of them at some point says, are you the leader now? Who made you the leader? So in real life, there's not always a natural leader. So like,
true.
I think it's who, taking it even a step further back, what would I do? Would I try to become a natural leader? Would I just follow? But I think my immediate instinct would be my life's over.
I'm just going to hang out here.
I think my life's over. But I think I would be so in shock that I wouldn't know what to do. What would you do? Just knowing myself, I'd be in shock.
I don't think you're going to be surprised by this, but you know, I'm super pragmatic. And I think in a situation like this, I would say, we're in this town. There are some clues here that this is a very small town. They obviously have one sheriff. He can't even apparently get to us, quote unquote, for 2 hours or whatever, wants us to meet him at this creepy fucking mill. I would be like, you know what? Let us drive to the nearest big town where there are more people around, more law enforcement. And you can say, hey, we passed by this random gas station down here. We tried to get some help. We waited around a really long time. We wanted to get this girl taken care of. That would just be kind of my, I don't know, my explanation for it, I guess.
I agree.
Because I think I would start getting like red flags a little bit at this point if I hadn't already.
One would hope so, but I think also something that we're really not factoring in is the real life. Like in real life, there is a decomposing body in the car with them.
Very true.
We don't know where, we don't have GPS on our, we don't.
You're right. We don't know where the next town is. Yeah. Okay, so this next scene though, you guys, it's a little back and forth. So
our team is split up into two.
Yes. So we've got Aaron and Kemper who are off and they're going to go try to see what's up at that farmhouse that Jedediah was talking about. And then we also have Pepper, Morgan, Andy who are kind of staying back waiting to see if this like cop shows up. So, you know, we have this split up, like we said, of this group. And it's really funny because Jedediah kind of stays back with Andy, Pepper, and Morgan. And he's like trying to play with the dead body in the van. And then I think Andy like yells at him to not do that. And then he just like runs off.
He is such a vibe. He wants to play with the big kids.
He does.
You can tell he kind of has a kindness. He feels kind towards them.
I was going to ask if you felt Jedediah had good vibes.
He has definitely the best out of everyone. And like he has some good intention.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can just tell. But perhaps that's because he's not a tainted human. He's just a little kid.
He's innocent.
Well,
we don't know exactly how much, but Aaron and Kemper then, they make it to the farmhouse and they knock on the door. And they are immediately greeted by an old man. His name is Monty, and he's a double leg amputee in a wheelchair, and he's got a little dog on his lap. He agrees to let Aaron in to use their phone, but not Kemper, so that she can try to call the sheriff and just like check in on like where he is and try to get some more urgency, it seems like, in this situation.
Yeah, he's like, I said she can use the phone when Kemper tries to also go in.
So Monty then, after he lets her in and after she tries to use the phone, I think can't remember if she does talk to the sheriff or doesn't.
Yeah, she does because
she says, does, right?
She actually gets back on the line with somebody at the barbecue joint and she says 30 minutes.
Okay. And so as this is happening, Monty's in a different part of the house and he pretends to need some help after falling out of his wheelchair.
Something I gotta call out is as she's walking through this house and whatnot, and just the whole movie is, I brought it up a little bit, but there's just really something about the early 2000s that are just a next level gross. Again, smelling the movie and just like hearing the guts and hearing the chain, like something.
It's so sensory.
It's so sensory is the perfect word. Yes. And I feel, bringing back up the cyclicalness of things, I feel like horror is becoming more sensory again. I feel like within, movie like Ty West with X and all of those movies and Curry Barker, Obsession, we're getting some of that grotesqueness back.
Oh, yeah. So when Aaron helps Monty up, she's like kind of struggling and he's also such a creep and he's like holding onto her ass. Like I hate that part. But we see as the viewer, just like before in the mill when we saw like a dark figure cross by, we see a big ass figure move across the screen, but we don't see what it is exactly. Then Kemper, who's been outside of the house, he enters trying to look for Erin because like she's been in there for a bit of time now. And Kemper just keeps like exploring this weird house. He's going like room to room. I think he's like calling out for her, but he's trying to like kind of whisper too because he doesn't want that old man who, by the way, I don't know if we mentioned he had a shotgun too. There's also like a little bit of like, we don't want to cross his boundary lines. But yeah, Kemper is looking for Erin. Erin is helping Monty.
I think Kemper should have just stayed the fuck out the house, but whatever.
Yeah.
And Erin is just getting classically groped and having her tank top perfectly tied the entire time.
What a queen.
What a queen.
What a queen.
That's hard to do when you're not getting groped.
Yes.
She's doing both.
Kemper then slightly opens like one door and he sees, it seems like someone might have been in this room watching cartoons because there's like cartoons playing on a TV. And I think he drops something off the back of the door. It's like some kind of tchotchke is what I'm going to call it. He bends over to pick it up. And as that happens, we get our first like visual of Leatherface coming from behind, and he brutally hits Kemper on the back of the head with a sledgehammer, drags him then into another part of the house. And like from my perspective, I don't know if it's clear, but that seemed to me like a one and done. He's dead.
I would think so. And that's our boy. That's our first visual of our boy.
That's our guy.
Our Leatherface. It's reminiscent of that fucking crazy scene in the original. I don't know why, and maybe this is a more universal thought than I think, but that scene in the original where they open the door, when he opens the door.
Yep.
Oh my God.
The sliding door.
Yes. Oh my, that is such a powerful scene. And that's what they're trying to do here. It doesn't hit as hard, obviously, but yeah, that's the welcome, baby. Like that's our boy.
We get that several times actually in this film of like the sliding door and the reveal.
The reveals,
of like who I am, you know?
Yes.
And so Erin, still with Monty, like she hears this commotion and she fucking just drops Monty, which I fucking love. And she calls out to Kemper but can't find him. Then she like ends up leaving the farmhouse to try to find Kemper somewhere else. But either way, she's kind of freaked out. She's like, what was that? And where's my boyfriend?
And something I have to say about these locals, these colorful locals in these movies that we keep covering, is they move really fast. They have their systems down. They may be quote unquote slow, but they're quote unquote fast too.
But they're fast.
Yeah. They're like, all right, locked and ready, let's go.
It feels kind of like, you know, when what's his face goes and investigates the house in
Cabin Fever.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Okay, well, I was gonna say Cabin Fever.
Well, it's clearly something that happens in a lot of movies
in the early 2000s, no less.
Oh, and House of Wax, actually. Now that I think about it, yep,
we have a formula, people.
We do. Then back at the farmhouse, we see Leatherface's lair. We have another lair. Would we call it another lair, or are you going to call it the same lair?
No. This is. I had to take a beat because I was visualizing said lair. He's got his own lair. This is a next level. Talk about smelling a movie.
Yeah, it is filled with lots of bloody, dark items, body parts. And then we see poor Kemper is just like sitting there on a table of some sort. And he's just like seemingly being prepped for body mutilation. It's so sad.
Yeah, a layer is right. He very artsy craftsy too.
Yes.
We can invite him over for arts and crafts night.
I think we've mentioned this maybe in a previous podcast, but like we need to form a sewing group.
Yeah. Jeepers Creeper.
It's the Creeper. It is Buffalo Bill. It is now Leatherface.
Uh-huh. And I know we got some more.
There's got to be a couple more. So
there's definitely some more.
Yeah. But
we'll
I love it. I think they could really do well on Etsy.
Yeah, but us with them too.
Yes, we'll do the marketing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, a couple fun facts here about Leatherface and the actor that played Leatherface, because he's fucking huge in this film. The actor, Andrew Bryanarski, he prepared for this role as Leatherface with a diet of brisket and white bread to get his weight up to 300 pounds. However, being the absolute unit that he is, he not only did his own stunts, but he said it was a little bit of a challenge because in grueling Texas heat and everything, he still had to wear a fat suit that made his 300-pound body look 400 pounds. That is a brick house.
But that must have sucked in the Texas heat.
Definitely. Okay, so then meanwhile, Now we are back with the other part of the crew who is waiting for the sheriff at the old mill. So Sheriff Hewitt, he eventually comes to investigate the suicide. And I have to note here that Sheriff Hewitt is played by R. Lee Ermey. If you are watching this and you're like, I don't know who that is, you do. Just dig deep. He plays this type of character all the time. I would say he maybe more often plays almost like army sergeant type people.
He was an army sergeant, and that's just like translated into real life.
I mean, he was in Full Metal Jacket. You know, he's got quite the filmography.
Fun fact about him, too, is he voiced the toy soldier in Toy Story.
Wow. Okay, that makes so much sense, actually. Oh my God, I can picture it.
But if you think you don't know him, you do. He's been in something you've seen.
He's
for
that
sure.
guy. He is that guy.
I know him from The Frighteners, and he just is that guy in every movie.
Oh, okay. Well, in this movie, he already seems like a fucking piece of shit. He just like shows up. He's grimy. He just looks creepy and looks like you don't get good vibes from him.
Well, and when he speaks, he is a sketchy, sleazy, small town cop.
Exactly. And instead of acting professionally as one should, He's so gross. He comes and he's like looking at the situation. He immediately grabs like the gun. And the first thing this guy fucking does is smell the barrel of the gun. And then he proceeds to start trying to wrap her body in plastic.
In saran wrap.
Andy is like reluctantly helping him with this. And all the while that this is happening too, it gets worse. Sheriff makes some weird comments, literally grabs her boobs, and he's like, I used to love wrapping up these honeys.
I mean, I think he's so funny, and he's very, very disgusting and vulgar, but he's kind of a vibe with he commits to that small town disgustingness. And he's like, oh, it's kind of wet down here. What have you guys been doing? Like, what?
If I was in that situation as Pepper, I know this was the 70s, it's a different time, but I'd be like, what the fuck are you saying?
And he's also kind of like, oh, I'm so sorry this happened to you guys. What a bummer, huh? Like, kind of like...
He's acting like non-serious about it.
And he's like, this dead body, it's a bummer, but please don't mess up my car, as they're loading it into his car. So they're putting the hitchhiker's body into the sheriff's car.
Into the trunk.
The trunk of the car.
Because he doesn't want it on his back seats.
He doesn't want it to fuck up his shit.
Yeah. Erin, she then makes it back to the rest of the group and realizes that Kemper still hasn't returned. So that's definitely very scary.
She actually comes back with news. She's like, hey, good news. The sheriff will be here in 30. And the gang's like, yo, he's already been here.
This also extra sucks because now the body has been taken away, but now they're missing an extra body.
Yeah.
They're missing Kemper. Otherwise, they could have just driven away and been done with this place. The entire group goes looking for Kemper when they hear like a car horn kind of in the distance, and they find this like abandoned car graveyard, very Hills Have Eyes-esque. It for sure freaks them out and makes them want to leave ASAP. But like as they're looking at one of the cars specifically, Morgan finds a picture of the girl from the van. It's also kind of weird that it's in like a jar of water.
And why is nobody more concerned about that very strange coincidence? Is she just unalived herself in front of you?
And the picture of her family also has several people in it. There's like a grandmother, grandfather. There seems like there's like a baby in it too as well.
Yeah, so where's the rest of the family?
Exactly. Because if this is presumably their car, it's just very weird. And again, another red flag to add to our bucket of flags here. So Erin and Andy, they then decide to head back towards Monty's farmhouse to try to search for Kemper, as that was obviously the last place that Erin was with him. And like maybe he's still just like putzing around there somewhere.
And not all of the gang wants to stay and do the right, quote unquote, do the right thing, which is wait for Kemper.
Yeah.
Some of them want to leave, but they only have one car, remember?
And Erin takes the keys with her because she's like, Morgan, I kind of don't trust you. And I think you might try to leave.
I don't think it's not Kemper's van, though, is it? It's Andy's van.
Either way, she just doesn't want.
Yeah, but Andy could fully be like, it's my van, bye.
True. Back at the farmhouse, Leatherface, like he's still in his lair. And as he's prepping Kemper,
he's hooking him up upside down, and out of his pocket drops a box that has a ring in it.
Yeah, and it's like so sad because he just found the engagement ring that Kemper was planning to propose to Erin with. And it's such a stab in the heart from that beginning scene when she talks about like how she's been waiting for him to put like a little ring on her finger. We see that, damn, that was like supposed to be the plan, and now it's fucking ruined.
Well, I want to know why he got to bring that on a drug smuggling trip to Mexico.
Great question.
Maybe he bought it in Mexico.
It's the 70s, man.
True.
I feel like finding out that he was going to propose makes his death even more heartbreaking. Like,
well, then,
did you feel the same?
Imagine if they left in that little fact that she might be pregnant or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God. That would just be.
I never get over the fact that I think we brush past that this character's in love with this boy and this boy is now dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Oh my God.
It's all happened very quickly.
Yeah.
And then real quick question too, before we move on. Going back to the sheriff too, Als, because you said you didn't even remember seeing this maybe when you were younger. So this is like kind of a first watch for you. Did you have vibes that the sheriff was like kind of involved in all of this? Or did it feel like it could have been like a red herring to get you believe like he's a bad guy?
I mean, kind of with any reboot, you sort of know.
Yeah, you knew.
I mean, honestly, to me, we're kind of being set up to suspect he's on the wrong side of the law, right?
Yeah. There's just too many things that make it feel like all of these people are involved within this town in some way.
Well, and I think that him talking about her hoo-ha doesn't really help.
Doesn't help at all. No, for sure.
She's kind of wet down there.
Yeah. Aaron and Andy then arrive at the farmhouse, but Andy, he kind of sneaks in and searches inside while Aaron distracts Monty outside, complimenting his garden, which I think is such a good tactic.
Grandpa, I keep calling him Grandpa because of Grandpa in the original film, but Monty is basically to Aaron's like, bitch, why are you still here? He thinks that they've left. So imagine a universe in which they don't even come back to the house. They've just left.
They've just gone.
But no, she's distracting Grandpa, Monty, out in front, and Andy sneaks in. And what does Monty not want? People inside of his house, males inside of his house.
Yep. And Andy finds some sketchy shit. I mean, he looks around inside. He finds a lot of like hanging meat and skin in one room. He also then looks around at one point and something like drops and Aaron can hear him from outside. And then like basically she knows it's going to be bad news because Monty is also likely has heard it as well. And so she like runs back in after him. Then Monty comes in and this part is so, to me, iconic because Monty is at the front door. We're in the middle of the like foyer by the staircase. And Monty's like, come on, boy, bring it. But he's like facing Aaron and Andy. So it seems like he's talking to Andy, almost like, Andy, come on, like, come, like, fucking let's fight right now. Mm-hmm. Leatherface just fucking comes through the door, that sliding door, that iconic scene from the first film. It's recreated here in another way. And he slides it open and immediately has his chainsaw and is like ready to attack.
Something that I loved is what Monty screams before Leatherface comes in and he's like, you little turd, you're so dead and you don't even know it. Like Monty gave them a clear opportunity to fucking leave. And he's like, bitch, you came in my house and now you asked for it.
That is one thing about this film is that there were several opportunities where it's like people are not necessarily keeping you there, but it's you continuing to look for your friends that each one of you are being picked off kind of one by one. And then it just gets worse.
Just don't pick up the hitchhiker.
Yeah. So nonetheless, Leatherface chases Andy through the front part of the house. He cuts his little chainsaw, cuts through the screen door of the front door. And now the chase has moved to outside. And I also love this scene because I love anything that is a chase through clotheslines with lots of fabric hanging because it's so spooky. You don't know what's going to happen.
It also just, I mean, we love clotheslines moments, right? Classic. Yeah. Haunting.
And this one in particular is horrifying because at one point Andy is passing by Leatherface and Leatherface has his chainsaw down by his knee and he straight up just chops off one of his fucking legs at the knee.
And just this heavily triggers me because like, how has this not happened before? It's so possible. Like how, of course that happened. Of course, it's a fucking chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
Triggered. Someone's has to.
It's truly terrifying. Chainsaw. It's a chainsaw. Ugh. Someone's limb was bound to go.
It was bound to happen. Flailing. So much flailing.
So much flailing. So
much
much running.
Clotheslines.
So many clothes. Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
Sorry, Producer's right.
We just watched that during a break earlier.
Damn.
So poor Andy.
He's got one leg now.
He gets fucking dragged into the basement and Erin can't get to him. So she runs back to the rest of the group.
I don't know why this bothered me so much, but as Andy's being dragged into the basement, he's making the weakest attempt. The close-up is nails on a chalkboard, but then the wide shot is the actor just half-assing nails on a chalkboard. And I'm like, oh my God, tighten that up, please.
Do better.
Do better, Andy.
Oh, it's just so heartbreaking because like Erin is like, fuck, my friend just got taken. I don't know where my boyfriend is. So she reaches the van and she's like so freaked out. She comes upon like Morgan and Pepper and she's like, give me the gun. I need the gun. And they're all like trying to start the van and just like get the fuck out of there.
And mind you, they don't know what's just happened.
Yeah, they have no idea. She's kind of just like moved into action. Then Sheriff Hoyt returns. Erin cries to him, telling him, like, Andy needs help. He's up in that house up there. I just witnessed something horrific. Please help.
And honestly, as Erin is crying to Sheriff Hoyt, Jessica, this is the best you've ever performed. Bravo.
Dude, she did stunning in this film. I'm going to bring up a scene later, too.
Is it when the snot is coming out of her nose?
Okay. Yes, it's so good. As she's screaming to Sheriff Hoyt and like trying to get help from him, of course, because this cop doesn't give two shits about anything serious and he's working with the bad guys, as we know, he finds Kemper's little joint that was sitting on the dash in the van, and he just immediately shifts his whole focus about drugs. And instead of helping, he just starts kind of terrorizing the group. And first thing he does is he's like, all of you guys get out of the van, get on the ground, everybody on the ground. It's just like, dude, you're focusing on the wrong thing, bro.
Or is he? And he starts going through their wallets and rattling off their state IDs that are like their fake IDs. Erin is yelling about how there's someone killing people, you know, and then fucking the sheriff shoots the gun directly into the ground next to her face. Imagine how fucking terrifying would that be? He's
like trying to get her to shut up, but it's like, dude, you didn't have to do that.
Also, don't you ever think that like if somebody were to do that, like the ricochet would be like just shoot you opposite?
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? Like go into the ground, bounce, and then shoot you just from the ground.
I don't get how people can shoot into the air, even if it's nowhere near them, and not feel like that the bullet is going to come down and hit them at some point.
1,000,000%.
That would be a big fear of mine. That's why I don't shoot guns.
I think that's one of many reasons we don't shoot guns.
Agreed. Then back with Andy, he has now been brought down to the basement lair, and Leatherface takes him, puts him on a meat hook, and then immediately starts rubbing salt directly into his open wound before wrapping up the stump like a fucking piece of butcher meat.
Okay, a couple things. Something we've seen people go onto meat hooks time and time again, right? I don't know if we've ever seen a shot of someone realizing they're about to go on a meat hook.
Yeah.
We see the hook. I'm thinking as a viewer, oh my God, he's about to go on the meat hook. But we see the character see the meat hook and be like, I'm about to go on that meat hook.
Dude.
I don't think I've ever realized or noticed that in a movie. And imagine knowing that's what's next going into your back. What do you do to prepare yourself?
There's nothing you can do.
I mean,
you just flail maybe as much as possible.
Also, regarding the treatment of the leg, I see Leatherface is just trying to help Andy by packing up his wound.
He's preserving.
He's preserving Andy. He's helping him.
Speaking of preserving, we then see Leatherface, and he's making a mask out of Kemper's face, and we see him take off the mask that he was wearing. And this is a fun fact here. This is the only time that we actually get to see Leatherface's real quote unquote face in any of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, at least from my knowledge.
I wonder who got to make the creative decision of what that would look like.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big lift.
Yeah.
It's a big ask.
Totally. And we talk about all the time, sometimes your imagination is scarier than whatever the thing is. But I do think that they did a good job. It didn't feel any less scary, if that makes sense. It wasn't like, oh, look at this nice guy under here.
No, you know? I mean, clearly deformed for one reason or another. It reminded me of Phantom of the Opera.
Yes. Oh my God. Or even Vincent from House of Wax.
Vincent, definitely. Oh my God. So many parallels. They're basically the same movie.
Too many cooks.
Too many fucking cooks. Also, I feel like both of those movies have kitchens. So
it's very true. Then the sheriff back at, the mill, the two gals, they're still on the ground. They're like freaking the fuck out, but they're staying put. He grabs Morgan and asks him to basically reenact and recreate the hitchhiker suicide situation using her revolver to demonstrate what happened.
Something that I just thought about within our group of hot gang members, our hot teens, Morgan, who is a boy, is our only boy that's left, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that freaks me out, but like having my final male resource be Morgan doesn't really give me any hope.
Not feeling super.
I don't feel great about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Morgan.
On the flip side, what does it say about Andy and Kemper, though, being the first two of the men to go?
That's so true. And you know who didn't want to fucking stop for a hitchhiker?
Morgan.
That's right. So going back to what he's being asked to do by the sheriff, though. So the sheriff is literally asking him to recreate this suicide that he's just witnessed within the place that it happened with the weapon that it was used with, while the remnants of the girl are still there. Okay, so what I can describe is I like this movie because it's a good. I think it's a good movie. What I don't enjoy is how it made me feel at all, because it actually made me feel. It made me think about instances where this actually happens. I don't know if you've seen this movie called Compliance, but it's about somebody who did something simply because authority was telling her to do so. It's a really good movie. I encourage you to watch it.
Let's also go down to the semantics of it with this being a small town too, right?
Yes.
Small town. Clearly there's no other law enforcement nearby. Clearly this is the only sheriff likely of this entire little town here. And like, doesn't seem like there's a lot of law keeping going on.
And that's the scary part is he is the law. They make that they are the law.
He is the law, which is terrifying.
That is wherein lies my terror about this. And I think I've said this so many times, and I'm just going to say it again, because that is what scares me the most is people doing shit to other people.
Totally.
So good movie, but it leaves me feeling so ill because poor Morgan. I mean, what the fuck would you do?
Well, he's already been traumatized by just the first part.
Remember when we thought that the worst part of the day would be the suicide?
It's just gotten worse and worse.
Gotten worse and worse. And poor Morgan, I mean, there's a couple different ways you can react. You can comply and do as you're being asked, or you can stick up for yourself.
And Morgan, he does try to turn the gun around. He kind of points it at the sheriff first and is like basically kind of threatening him. And then he tries to shoot him, but fuck, the gun isn't loaded, or at least that shot was not loaded. It's just so heartbreaking because you think for like a second that he's going to get revenge back on this sheriff.
Or take control of the situation.
Yeah, or take control. Yeah, great point.
When you're in a scuffle, it doesn't matter if you're the sheriff or if you're Morgan. When you have the gun, you have the gun.
Totally.
So he's now taking back the power.
And you can see
for a second.
Well, Jonathan Tucker, too, such good acting in this scene. You can see all of the hope drain from his face when that pull of the trigger doesn't result in anything. Like, poor guy, poor guy.
We see that often in films, but it's for a purpose to do exactly what it's doing to us right now. Talk about it and feel the way they're feeling. Oh my God, my hope is gone.
Yeah.
Despair.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Hoyt, he then handcuffs Morgan and just his plan is to like take him back to the Hewitt house. So now, another person has been taken to that awful place where people keep going missing.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be Aaron and Pepper. And they also don't really know what's going on because they're still on the ground, head down, face down. I mean, they can kind of tell like what's happening, but also not. I'm pretty sure they were like screaming for Morgan too.
Also, remember, Pepper just met these people.
Dude.
This is optional for Pepper. God. She opted in to this adventure.
It's just so sad. As the sheriff then is taking Morgan in his car, they're driving up to the house, which is funny because you remember Jedediah said there is no road. So it seems like sheriff is going off-roading at this point. The sheriff is like talking to him about the concert and how they both share a liking for like Lynyrd Skynyrd. And the sheriff is also just fully drinking whiskey. Morgan makes like a comment, well, he's obviously not going to make it to the concert. So like if you want the tickets, you can have them. And then the sheriff just pulls back with his freaking whiskey bottle and smashes Morgan's face with it. And then as they're in the car, the sheriff radios someone saying, get over to the mill. There's 2 fillies ready to go. Now we know for sure the sheriff is working with whatever evil is like going on in this situation.
When you heard that, what did you think he meant? 2 fillies ready to go.
That weirdly felt like sexual assaulty to me.
Oh, to me, it felt like Philly cheesesteak. I got 2 pieces of meat ready to come. No, because we kind of don't really get into it in this movie, but they're turning these people into meat at the barbecue joint.
Okay, I love that take. I took it as because people call Phillies like girls.
Also, remember we see meat packing at the end of the movie?
Totally. No, I love that take. That is a great take. Then back at the mill, Aaron and Pepper, they do get up eventually from the ground and they're trying to fix the van since the sheriff took the keys. And oh, guys, I love this.
I knew you were going to say that.
I love this part. Aaron, she's trying to hotwire the car and Pepper's like, dude, how did you like learn to do this? And she's like, Juvie, which Allie made a good point earlier. We were chatting about this film and she said that in Seventh Heaven, she goes to Juvie. What if Seventh Heaven is actually just the prequel?
I love that.
To Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. Oh,
and
she plays Mary.
Mary and the dad. Remember her dad in the movie or the show?
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Reverend. Eric Camden.
He's involved somehow.
He's involved.
For sure.
And she is now grown up.
And her family is the family?
Well, she's changed her name. And she's now Aaron, but she still has her skills from juvie. She could probably shoot a mean basket still.
But however, let me throw you this other curveball real fast.
Tell me.
Aaron's family, Aaron's Seventh Heaven family. What is there, 7 children or something?
Something like that.
Okay, her large-ass family, that's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family.
Whoa. I like this. I like this twist.
I just gave away a free idea.
But Erin, she gets it running. She gets it running with her juvie skills. But then seconds later, you guys, one wheel just like flies completely off and then they're fucked. So as they're like trying to drive or / kind of driving, Leatherface then shows up and he chainsaws through the back window of the van. And then he comes around like the front and then climbs on top of the van. And a fun fact here about the chainsaws used in this film is that production actually had 10 different chainsaws available for different uses. So some created smoke, some sparks, some were actually real. Director Marcus Nispel, he compared Leatherface's chainsaws to Tiger Woods' golf clubs. Each of them had a very unique use. So I kind of love thinking that Leatherface had a collection of different chainsaws for just like what he needed.
Kind of like how I choose my beanies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You never know what you're going to need. It's just like Cowboy and his toys. He doesn't know what he's going to need at what point. Which one's going to squeak better? Which one's going to be better for chewing?
Totally.
Which one I want mom to throw?
Which beanie covers my hair better? Which beanie goes with my outfit better? Which beanie is
maybe
warmer
one is just for
ears?
warmth. Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
yep.
Exactly. So same concept.
Totally. It's funny you make that commentary here too, because in this scene specifically, I thought the chainsaw work was really pretty because the sparks, it kind of reminded me of a sparkler.
Ooh.
So they used the sparkly one for this scene.
They did the sparkly one. I like that. Pepper, she manages to escape the van momentarily, but poor girl, she just gets like brutally fucking killed. And poor girl never even got to see the farmhouse. She's just stayed at the mill the whole time.
I also wasn't expecting her to die. I'm not sure why. I really don't know why. Yes, she was brutally killed in the manner that it was with a chainsaw, but we don't actually see it. And I'm like, wow, we draw the line at Pepper's death, but we'll just see a bullet straight up go through somebody else's head. Okay.
Aaron, this is so heartbreaking because this part when Leatherface has Pepper on the ground, it's like the shot of Leatherface standing up and he turns around and she has the headlights facing Leatherface and he is wearing the mask with Kemper's face.
Like, can you imagine?
Dude.
Can you imagine?
No, I'd be like, what the, give me that face back. I would actually ask for it back.
Yeah.
And then I would keep it in a little pot of formaldehyde.
You must. Or put it on a mannequin or something. That's another instance of pit inducing. Like it's a movie, but if you actually think about that happening.
No, that's
what the fuck.
Up.
And we also need to get Carly from House of Wax in the support group too. Like I feel like they really need to team up, her and Aaron.
We can have Kemper's face mask on like a mannequin, and then we can have what's-his-face's little wax body preserved.
And we can open up a shop specifically for white ribbed tank tops.
Oh my God.
Between the two of them.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love this idea.
Specifically.
I want it to be called like Two Faces in a Tank Top or something like that.
Cute.
Like I'm just trying to think of a store name, you know?
Oh, well, now we got a whole branding moment. 2 faces in a tank top. Are you thinking 2 girls, 1 cup?
Oh, maybe Hot and Faceless.
hot and faceless. Isn't that kind of sad though? Because
It
we
is.
just want her for her body.
You're right.
But you're right, because but our tank top, that's all it's about is your body.
Exactly. TCM summer, baby.
Wow, okay.
TCM summer.
I'm in.
Erin, she then gets the fuck out of there, thankfully, and she escapes to a nearby trailer. She's like banging on the door, and finally a woman lets her inside. It's like a younger, kind of skinny woman, and then there's like a larger, a little bit older woman kind of sitting on the couch, I think like knitting, and they seem like totally unbothered. They're just having a very peaceful night. They are just hanging in their little trailer.
They're having a relaxing kiki, and in the nicest way possible, impeccable casting.
Truly.
For this instance, to make you feel uncomfortable and definitely out of place, and something is so uncanny valley that it's uncanny. Imagine consistently being handed these scripts, practically deformed woman living in trailer.
No.
Consistently getting roles like that.
Crazy.
I mean, it pays the bills.
It pays the bills. Hey, if that's who you are, that's who you are.
I mean, I bet these actresses have been to the Bahamas. I haven't.
Same, sister. Same. These gals, they offer Erin some tea. They're like very insistent on the tea, but in a weird way, it's like strangely comforting because like this is just the only calmness I think that they have seen in the last like several hours. They tell Erin that they unfortunately don't have a phone for her to use.
They say phones are a hassle.
One of them then says, like kind of under her breath a little bit, like, he knows better than to be messing around here. Poor sweet boy. And one of them also says like that he was inflicted with a skin disease that happened when he was just a boy. Then Erin, she starts drinking a little bit of the tea and
Bitch, no tea ever.
never.
The tea is always poisoned.
Yeah. As she's like taking a sip of it, she hears a baby wake up in the other room. And so the like younger kind of skinny woman, she goes off to go check the baby.
Also, specifically in this scene, I'm not sure if you noticed, but Erin's nose snot is definitely rivaling some other shots we've seen before.
Erin then, she quickly notices that like things are feeling really wrong. So it feels like, oh shit, this is probably something still related to like the people at the Hewitt house. And all of a sudden we hear a phone ring.
Yeah, the phone's ringing. And also she's putting together that baby that the smaller woman is holding is probably stolen.
Yeah. She does look at a photo that she finds in the house, and it's that same photo that they found in the car earlier of the girl who shot herself in their van. And she's putting two and two together. It's not super obvious. Like I was talking to the producer and we were talking through that connection because he was like, wait, I don't remember this baby situation. How do we know that this baby belonged to that girl specifically? And then we talked about like the car scene and stuff. So it's kind of easy to miss, but like there is that like connection there if you see that family photo. And so Erin's like, holy shit, the phone's ringing. There's this baby that she is presuming to be stolen. Then Henrietta, the other woman, she answers the phone and she quietly says she's here. Then Erin just like collapses.
The tea is always drugged.
Dude.
Always.
At what point were your alarm bells going off with these tea ladies, or were they immediately going off?
Like I said, impeccable casting.
So you felt uneasy immediately?
In a really kind way. I don't think I'd walk into their trailer.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be like, yes, can I have some tea?
I also feel like just finding the photo of the hitchhiker's family and realizing that the baby was taken from them is one of the saddest reveals in the movie. And again, like I said, it's a little easy to miss, but like to me, it felt like it changed the view of like Erin's entire purpose. Like you almost see the gears moving in her head of like, I got to get this baby out of here somehow if I can, instead of just simply like surviving. It's almost like she has a different kind of purpose. Did you get that vibe?
No, I didn't at all. But I think maybe because my brain would not work that way either, I almost forget about the baby after it's not addressed again. I mean, I know
I get that.
I like kind of forget about it.
Probably because I've seen it just so many times too that I'm like, I notice little things
True.
here and there. And I'm like, I just feel like there's like a little bit of a shift in her. It's almost like she just has a lot of concern because also we've seen Erin be the most empathetic one throughout the entire film.
I'm sure that was the intent. For me, it almost reads as one of those half-baked plot points.
Yeah.
Of, oh, we need to add some more empathy. Let's throw a baby in here.
Now all of a sudden there's a baby.
Now let's do something with a baby.
Yeah.
Like half-baked.
Yeah. Erin then wakes up and she is inside the Hewitt home now with the sheriff pouring beer on her face to wake her up.
I don't know why that made me laugh so much.
It's like, whoa, okay, rude awakening. And she finally gets to see all of Leatherface's family all together. So we have Jedediah. He's like screaming for his grandma outside the house, but she tells him to stay outside. We also have, I think grandma's name is Luda May. And she's defending Leatherface named Thomas. And she's like blaming society. And she was the woman that worked at the barbecue place.
Mm-hmm. So are we to believe that Luda May and the sheriff are together, or Luda May and Monty?
No idea.
Okay.
I'm going to say Monty probably. And then she calls directly for Leatherface by his full name, Thomas Brown Hewitt. And he comes right in and just like takes Erin away with him.
And meanwhile, Jed is looking in on this situation from the window. He's outside looking in and he's like, damn, this is intense. And you can tell he feels bad for Erin.
Totally. So Leatherface takes her down to the basement and throws her down the stairs, where she eventually finds Andy and he's still alive, but like barely.
Okay, I have a lot of thoughts here. First of all, I don't know if you noticed, but in Leatherface's lair, there's lots of levels of decomposition and body parts, and I think he'd make a great decomp expert.
Most likely.
A career change,
yes,
if he so chooses.
Perhaps.
I took a college class that was body decomposition. Talk about interesting.
You did? That's cool.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting.
Wow.
Anyways, going back to Andy and the meat hook, I want to know how long you can last hanging on a meat hook. Because for all intensive purposes, it's not like he's like spilling guts and blood. He's just unfortunately hanging on something, but he's still alive.
His knee has been wrapped up.
Yeah, his knee, remember, Leatherface pulled a homie, a solid.
He's just trying to hang him out to be jerky.
Yeah, salted and cured.
Yeah, he's drying.
He's drying.
That's a great question, and I do not know. But he is barely alive, and Erin goes up to him, and this is such a heartbreaking scene because she she can't get him off the hook, and it's heartbreaking because she kind of like lifts him up a little bit but can't get him off the hook, so he just slams back down fully onto it with full force, and he like begs her to kill him.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. Come at me if you want. He's barely dead. He's like not dead. He's like 1% dead. We don't know. Why do we have to mercy kill him? Why can't we wait for help? Why are we mercy killing him? Where's the sheriff? She is murdering him.
Okay, what I think is that he is at death's door, in my opinion. And I don't mean that physically. I mean it mentally. I think he's like, if she doesn't kill me, this fucking guy, I don't know what he's going to do. If that were me, I'd be looking around. I'd be taking an assessment of this lair. This lair is fucked up. Like you said, there's body parts everywhere. There's things to mutilate body parts everywhere. I'm thinking in my head, I could choose to have the worst of it right now and have my friend just end this for me versus being tortured and probably eventually killed by this man that I don't even know.
Your delusional brain wouldn't be like, this isn't the end. I will have help.
If I don't know. I just don't know. I'm taking an assessment of the entire environment. Small town. I'm already severely injured, so it's not like I can escape and run out of here. I'm already pretty fucked up. Maybe he does feel like he's close to death, and he's just like, just end it for me, my friend.
I think we're lucky enough to not have felt that way.
And to not have to deal with this. So she ends up mercy killing him, and it's very sad. And he tells her, he's like, there's a knife over there. Like, he's clearly been looking around.
I definitely know that he says do it.
Yeah.
But like, I can't, like, it's hard for me to wrap my brain around him being like, do it.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
You're barely dead.
Yeah. It's sad for sure.
There could be help.
Then Erin moves on to finding her other friend who is still alive, but he's a shell of who he once was. While she finds like Morgan in this weird like little bathtub, Leatherface is watching from a crack in the floor. He can see what's happening, and he's almost just like observing. He's not running to them.
And now Jedediah is fully helping Erin. He's leading them out of this weird tunnel situation.
Yeah. And he like, Jedediah clearly knows that what his family's doing is wrong. Like, did you expect him to help Erin and Morgan try to escape?
Totally.
You did.
I mean,
okay.
I think, like I said from the very beginning, you could tell he had a little twinkle in his eye for them. Like, these kids aren't doing anything wrong. He says, oh, I guess he doesn't know that they didn't hurt the girl, but I think he can recognize that they were trying to help the hitchhiker in the beginning, and he was asking, did you hurt the girl? I think he was also concerned about that girl. I think
He's like breadcrumbing us a little bit that he cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
Well, I was just wondering if there was maybe a part of you that thought he might have been leading them into a trap, potentially.
Well, I mean, maybe you felt like that because in the classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, that's the whole family's in on it, right? So
yeah.
it's all the brothers, it's all the kids, everybody has their role. And this movie, this reboot differs. It differs a lot from the original, but this in that fact that Jedediah doesn't want to be like his family and kill. He's trying to help them.
Yeah. I know we make a lot of comparisons to Hills Have Eyes, House of Wax, but how could we not? This also reminds me of the little girl in Hills Have Eyes, Ruby.
Absolutely.
Who also helps, and she's just like reluctantly trying to help, but she knows like what her family's doing is wrong.
Oh my God. Her and Aiden should get married.
They should.
Perfect match.
Oh my God. We
Talk
need to
about
get
a
them
wedding
together.
Yeah. I'll plan that wedding.
So Jedediah, he helps them escape through this weird little passageway, but Leatherface sees what's happening and he tries to catch them. As they are trying to like make their way through this cellar door and out of this basement area, Jedediah tries to bite Leatherface to keep him away from Aaron and Morgan. It's so funny.
Pretty sure that 400 Pounds of Man will stop Jedediah.
And Jedediah will not stop him.
Correct.
Yeah. Morgan and Aaron, they finally are able to escape. And Aaron actually, I think she has a moment where she's like, no, come with us to Jedediah. Like, she's like, hey, I can help you. Like, we can all get out of this together. But Jedediah's no, like, you just go. And so they escape. They go through that car graveyard once again, and they make their way to this abandoned shack looking place.
So many shacks.
So many weird little buildings.
Yeah.
And Leatherface, unfortunately, he does find them.
I love how you're always like, and then, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, he does find them and he tries to get through while they try to block the door with a couch. And Leatherface makes his way in, and Erin, she puts like Morgan in this like little like closet thing and then tries to kind of hide herself, hoping that Leatherface is not going to find them. I just want to say this is the part I was talking about earlier where I love this shot because there's this scene where she's also waiting in kind of like a separate closet and there's all these holes in the doorway and the moonlight is just illuminating into the closet onto her body where she only has these like little pieces of moonlight hitting her and she's crying. But Leatherface finds her. He drags her out. And as he's like about to like fuck her up, Morgan then comes out of his hiding spot and he tries to attack Leatherface, but then gets fucked up in return.
Remember, Morgan is not in great shape too.
No.
He's pretty beat up himself.
And kind of similar to like how I think like Leatherface really likes like hanging things up because he just hangs Morgan up by his handcuffs onto a chandelier in the middle of the room.
I really don't think they bake it out as much as they do in the original, but I think we're meant to believe this family is in the meat business. And
Correct.
So he wants to hang the meat.
Yep. Oh, this is very, very brutal. And after watching this again, I'm like, ooh, I have questions. But Leatherface then chainsaws Morgan upward through the groin. And I just wonder if this was the birthplace of the infamous Terrifier scene.
I had that exact same thought, and they did it first.
Yep.
Here.
Leatherface did it first. Erin, though, through Morgan's kind of sacrifice a little bit, Erin, she manages to escape. And as she's escaping, though, Leatherface, of course, he is catching on. He's chasing her. And I cannot believe the cardio on this 400-pound man. Honestly, impeccable.
Truly.
He must walk his 10,000 steps a day.
More.
Like, probably more. As they're like having this little chase, she goes over some like barbed wire fence and Leatherface trips on that fence and he cuts his leg while trying to pursue her. And he's kind of crying about it like a little baby.
I'm sorry, that's what I'm saying. That's if we're flailing and running that much, we are bound to be cutting shit off more often.
So Erin, she then finds her way into a slaughterhouse after trying to stop a car that was driving on the road, but of course didn't stop for her because fuck that. And apparently this is a real slaughterhouse in Texas, you guys. So fucking cool that they used a real slaughterhouse.
Something I'm going to shout out right here is this slaughterhouse is actually called the Blair Meat Packing Co.
Oh.
Just keep that in mind.
That's spooky.
Yeah.
That has a cool ring to it.
It does.
And Leatherface, he eventually catches up to her, but she's able to kind of hide herself into one of like dozens of metal lockers after herself going through a meat freezer and having to kind of be chased through like all these hanging pieces of dead meat.
A classic hanging dead things, sheets, dead meat.
Yeah.
Vines.
Actually, in the little meat locker too, there's this one part where like she just fits so perfectly within like the rib cage of a big ass cow. And I'm like, wow, it's just like such a perfect fit. Like
Ace Ventura.
She's so petite. Ace Ventura, the rhino?
Yeah.
A little different, but I like it.
A little different.
I like where your head's at. Leatherface, then he starts searching like room by room for her. Erin, she then pops out of the locker that she was hiding in and she attacks him with a meat cleaver, chopping off the arm that he was using with the chainsaw trying to attack her because she had grabbed a meat cleaver somewhere along the way. And I love the realisticness that it took her several tries to chop his arm off.
Yeah.
Because in real life, you're not going to be able to just do it in one fell swoop unless you did have like the chainsaw, right? So I love that they made it a little realistic and they're like, okay, we're going to have her hack him like a few times to get through that arm. Then she runs off. He drops his chainsaw. He drops his fucking arm. Blood everywhere. And the chainsaw is just spinning around in circles on the ground and he's trying to grab it.
So I don't know if you remember, but the original Tobe Hooper actually outright said, this is a comedy. And I think that's being honored in these newer renditions of don't forget the comedy.
It's one of those things that could happen in real life, but it'd be so funny to see.
Be like, what are the fucking odds of that?
Exactly. So Erin makes her way out of the slaughterhouse. She escapes again. She's out now in the pouring rain in her cute little outfit.
Looking perfect still.
Looking so perfect. So perfect. And she gets picked up by a trucker on the side of the road.
Excuse me, a trucker?
Sorry. We found out it was...
We discovered that it's Buddy Garrity, no less. Talk about Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
I love that.
Okay, quick question before we like fully change settings here. The slaughterhouse chase, in my opinion, is just like so relentless and scary. But like, what are your thoughts? What has been the scariest location so far? The Hewitt house, the abandoned shack, or the slaughterhouse?
You know what's funny to me, you asking that question, because I don't think locations are scary.
Oh.
What do you think is the scariest location?
I am between slaughterhouse and Hewitt house.
And why do you think those are scary?
Slaughterhouses always just like creep me out because there's just like a lot of dead animals and they just feel scary, like because there's meat hanging up. And I just think that there's always something hiding behind them.
Yeah, I guess what I view as more scary is the action that's happening inside of them. So I'm thinking about it that way. The Hewitt house is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because that's more dangerous.
That was my second thought. Also, Jessica Biel, dude, she's like really earning her spot as like a final girl in this film. Do you feel like she lives up to like other final girls that are out there?
I think I'm not giving Erin/Jessica Biel as a final girl enough credit in the horror atmosphere. And I'm sorry. I'm here to say I'm sorry to you.
I agree myself though. Because like even I sometimes like don't even kind of like remember her. And that's really fucked up. And I promise I'm going to change.
I'm not. Oh, yeah. And you're like this movie's #1 fan. What the fuck? But I'm saying that as like purely by the numbers. I didn't know this movie did that well. And Jessica Biel, in a way, sparked a whole era of final girls.
Yeah.
So she
totally
deserves her stars, actually.
Her bouquet of chainsaws.
But with the blades removed, because now we're being realistic and they do cut limbs off.
True. So no blades, all sparkles.
Yeah.
There we go.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Perfect.
Okay.
After she gets picked up by this like trucker, she realizes, just like the beginning with the hitchhiker that they picked up in the van, she realizes that they are going the wrong way when they pass the town sign. And she tries to get the driver to turn around. It's almost a scene by scene like replica of what happened in the beginning of the film. He's like, girl, you need to chill out. What the hell's going on? So he pulls over to the gas station / barbecue spot from the beginning, and he runs inside to try to get some help. She also runs out and realizes that the kidnapped baby is in there when she hears it crying, along with the rest of the family. So she's like, holy shit, they need to not know that I'm here. This is slowly going to turn into a terrible thing again. And so she sneaks the baby out of this barbecue place or whatever without any of the family noticing. And she takes that baby right into a patrol car. Love that. And Sheriff Hoyt, He's now investigating the truck because he's like, oh, I'm going to find this little filly again.
Another fucking Philly.
Another filly.
Philly cheesesteak.
Now
ready
I'm
for,
hungry.
Yep.
And he finds no sign of Aaron, but just as he's like closing the truck door, I love this part, she just comes full speed at him in his patrol car and she repeatedly runs him over. And then she just starts to keep driving. And as she's driving, Leatherface, again, beautiful cardio. He charges into the road with his chainsaw as she like successfully escapes with the baby.
So again, ending a Texas Chainsaw Massacre with our final girl escaping in a truck, just a different way.
And it's just, you feel like, oh, yay, not only did Aaron get away, but like now this weird subplot of the baby too.
I don't think that was necessary.
Well, and also like, wouldn't it be, is this also just a different take on like, you know, her potentially being pregnant at the beginning? Like they decided not to do the pregnancy thing. So they're like, we still got to have a baby.
Too many half-baked things trying to be baked.
Too many cooks.
Too many buns.
Oh, too many buns.
Too many cooks and buns. Too many cooks making buns.
Yeah. Then we are right back at that beginning of the film with the police footage, and we start seeing more in-depth footage of a clip that we saw at the very beginning start, and now we're getting like the finishing of it, and it's a deputy going through the crime scene, and he's exploring the basement of the Hewitt house, and then suddenly he gets attacked by Leatherface. And it says, like, the narrator is like, 2 officers were fatally wounded, and like we get like the last quote unquote photo of Leatherface. And it's fucking terrifying, in my opinion. And I believe it's on the cover of the film.
Oh, is it?
It's pretty like iconic in terms of like marketing this film, I believe. But like I think it's fucking terrifying. Like I was like, holy shit. It scares me every time. You guys, I've seen this so many times. It still scares me.
See, this image on the cover is so different than the last image of Leatherface in the movie to me. And because I'm with you, that image is scary. But to me, it looks like Bagul, and Bagul is the scariest of all scary.
I could see similarities.
Same.
Yeah, like you saying Bagul, I'm like, you know what? It kind of makes sense.
They look like similar.
Yep.
Something about this last shot too also reminded me, the last sequence rather, it reminded me of the found footage at the end of Blair Witch. And then I was like, Blair Witch. And then I remembered Blair Meatpacking. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's far-fetched, but maybe there's some kind of connection there. Why make it so evident to us that it says Blair Meatpacking?
Hey, you never know. A little ode.
A little ode. And you know what? We love odes.
We love odes. So, yeah.
But did we love this movie?
Well, you know how I felt about it. Okay, but I have some questions for you before we dive into our final thoughts. The ending coming full circle back to this crime scene footage, I thought that was such a cool storytelling choice. Like, did you kind of forget about that? And then you were like, oh shit, when they like circled back. What were your thoughts on having that bow tied and wrapped up at the end of the film?
I liked it because it reminded me of X, and you know I love X.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think it gave us a creative way to explain some stuff.
Yeah.
It's creative exposition.
And it also kind of tells you, it's like the whole point of this was to tell a story of what happened to these 5 young adults. It's just like, what happened to these folks?
And you kind of forget that we enter the movie with the story.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it. Okay, let me ask you, Al's, too, because we all know in like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like he has several masks for several occasions, right? Where this one, he kind of has more of just like one iconic mask, but then he's like making masks of people's faces, which is actually a little bit more in line with like what Ed Gein did, I believe. So what were your thoughts on that? Like, did you like this Leatherface? Do you prefer the OG?
I think that it's just shown in a different way because in the original, that he does have the different masks kind of to help project how he's feeling. He has that to indicate to the world what his
emotions
or what he's going to do next too. Mm-hmm. And we don't have that in this version of the movie, but I still feel like I can feel his emotion based on the shots we get. We kind of get shots of him almost being helpless and we know that's how he is. And he's a big dumb buffoon being told what to do and he's doing it.
Yep.
He's just following orders. And I think that we get that same kind of character insight in both movies, just in different ways.
Definitely.
Does that make sense?
No, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I think they both, I don't look at one as better than the other.
Yeah, I think they're so different.
In some ways, in this one, I feel more connected to him emotionally because we get more of him in this one, I think, a little bit more. Where the first one, we maybe don't get as much, but like to your point, we get outfit changes, we get mask changes, we get some explanation of kind of just like how he's feeling. I don't know. They kind of both really walk hand in hand for me.
Yeah,
truly.
I agree. Like I said, I think they're just doing it in different ways.
Yeah.
We're getting the depth in different ways.
Absolutely. Do you feel like this remake improved on anything from the 1974 original, or would you consider the original to be like still truly like untouchable?
I think that this movie did something, and I'm not exactly sure how to feel about it. It took a movie that I find campy and made it creepy. Yeah. It made something that brought, to me, the original is camp. And I know that's not what it was. I mean, actually, the creator said it was meant to be campy and funny.
Yeah.
And it kind of became this true horror. But to me, 30, 40 years after the original came out, it is funny.
Yeah.
Because just times have changed and different things are scary now. So it became a comfort movie.
Totally.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. And it took that comfort and turned it into creepy. And it gives me the pit. It gives me a feeling of I still feel uneasy.
Yeah.
After watching it yesterday.
But you don't get that same feeling from the original.
No.
Interesting.
No.
Okay.
It made something that I love gross.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Totally.
Made me not be able to eat during it.
Totally. Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like I can't really like compare them, to be honest. Like, I think it's one of those remakes. It kind of proves that horror doesn't necessarily have to like replace the original to earn its place, you know? It takes sort of the bones, I think, of like Tobe Hooper's original classic, and it creates something on its own. And that's what I think I really love about it. It's dirtier, it's meaner, it's more cinematic. And like the cinematography too, being kind of the through line between both of them, but still different in so many ways. Like I feel like this movie like never lets up, you know, like it's atmospheric the entire time.
So you like it, I'm not saying you have to choose one, you like it better?
I do.
Okay.
I love the original because it's the original, but I love this one. And like, that's obviously not a surprise to anybody that listens to our podcast. Everyone knows I love this film, but like, I know this remake isn't for everyone, like, especially if people are really attached to the raw feel of the original. But for me, it's like, this is everything I want in a more modern kind of slasher film. The cast is likable, in my opinion. The kills are brutal, but not like over the top. R. Lee Ermey also gives one of the most like unsettling performances in horror. And then Jessica Biel, like she's just one of my favorites from that time period. And she just nails this in so many different ways.
I think comparing these two films, the original and this reboot, and how you and I both like them for different reasons, perfectly describes our taste in horror.
Yeah.
I'm here for fun. You're here for the feelings.
Yeah.
I'm here for the camp. I'm here for that comfort. I'm here to like have a good time. You're here for the raw emotion. You're here to feel uncomfortable.
Depth. Yeah.
I don't want to feel anything.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Like, I'd rather not.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather laugh.
Okay, so what were some of your like final thoughts on this film?
So kind of along the lines of what I was just saying is this gave me a pit. This is a good movie. I liked it. This movie gives me a pit, but it still makes me want to have a fun summer. It makes me want to have a good summer, you know, hags.
So you're not going to let this movie drag you down,
no,
is what you're saying.
It's not going to ruin my summer. What about you?
Oh my goodness.
I'm still having a Sean Paul summer, but make it Texas Chainsaw Massacre summer.
There you go. We can combine
rather
the two.
Than temperature. I mean, we still have temperature. It's still hot.
We do. We still have
We
temperature.
just are in wife beaters now.
Perfect. Love that. Love that.
They're basically hand in hand.
I think also too, like for me, just 20 plus years later, I just think personally, this to me is one of the best remakes that have been made. I think it really respects the original while carving out kind of its like own identity. And it makes me, I know a lot of it is also attached to my nostalgia from watching it as like a youngin', but like, you're so right. It's like how it makes me feel.
But can I throw something at you too, talking about the difference between the two again and the difference in time? It's 29 years. Think about how different those movies are. Those two, they feel like they're in completely different fucking universes.
Totally.
But they're telling the same story. And I think even though I prefer the original because of the way it makes me feel. I respect you prefer the newer one because of the way it makes you feel, which is why I also respect the 2022 version, which I never saw, because of the way it makes somebody else feel.
That's terrible. No, I'm just kidding. But you're right. You're right. We all have different tastes, and that's what makes this podcast so fun too. Is like I'm so glad that you and I look at things so differently, because it would be so boring if we both thought exactly the same things about every single film.
And that's why I didn't like Pluribus, because we don't all need to think the same thing.
I agree. We didn't like Pluribus either.
I thought you did.
We can talk about that offline.
Okay,
but yeah, we have
will.
thoughts. We have thoughts.
Kevin made me watch it.
Overall, you guys, though, I will say this is my PSA for anyone listening who has maybe written off this version because it is a remake. I genuinely think it's worth giving another chance.
And I will also, shocker of the century, second that. Because you know I love to shit talk, and I love giving you shit for loving this movie.
I love it.
But I can appreciate where it stands in horror history.
There we go, baby. I think that's a perfect way to close us out.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, that was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 with Jessica Biel. So hot. Love her. And you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks. If you would like some bonus content, please come and join our Spooky Chicks social club over on Patreon. We have a lot of fun stuff going on over there. Please subscribe and rate us 5 stars wherever it is that you listen. It really, really helps our show get on the algorithm so that other people can find us. But you know that the best way to support us is just by sharing our show with another friend who loves horror. And Allison, with that, my Texas beauty queen, would you like to close us out?
Why not? Road trips are temporary. Trauma is forever. Just keep driving and stay spooky fuckers.